My name is Joseph Anesmarova. I'm a poultry farmer in Warren Park. I specialize in pure breeds, heritage breeds, those that grow very big. We also have some bantams, but in bantams we're just starting. So in these chickens, currently we have 33 breeds, different types of species, which ranges from Brahmas, Orpingtons, Cochins, Australorps. So those are the main breeds that we have, and from those we have them on different colors and varieties. So I grew up in Jombe, in my rural place, my mother's rural place. So from there was this government program where people were given chickens. So they were white chickens. I think they were those male layers. So from that point, I started to wonder. So these chickens, they do have different kind of breeds. You can have one type of chickens. So it was something that I do like. And then I was around Form 3, Form 4, around there. Then I did my A level. I was doing also agriculture. Um, then I went to Gwebi College of Agriculture. Then from there, on my attachment, I attended the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, and I saw this guy who had these kind of different types of species. Then from there, my interest also developed way better. After school, I started with a Bushveld, and then and some Australorps, and then I breeding so much numbers. I think at some point I was reaching about 1,000 chicks per week on a weekly basis. But I then realized that I need to shift the business idea from just producing numbers to producing like quality. So of all the blacker stock that I had, they didn't meet the breeding standard of the blacker stock. So I did my researches of each and every bit that I had that time. Then they were not meeting what I wanted. Then I had to acquire of most of the breeds. So when I started with the exact pure breeds, I started with three. I started with the Jersey Giant. I started with the Australorp and the Buff Colombian Brahma. And then from those three, that is 2022. I started in 2022 with the exact pure breeds. And then by now in 2024, when it begins, I had about 60 breeds. But now 2024 in August, I have about 33 different types of breeds of these chickens. So we are multiplying them. We need to target about 50 by end of this year, and then maybe in 5 years we have about 500 to 600 different species. We would want to have like a bank of all the different types of species that you can get, so that whenever we want to breed for meat, we can try the different combinations, so that we can now say, if you cross this one and this one, you produce meat. If you cross this one and this one, you produce better eggs. So we want it to be the bank of all different types of species that you can have. Since I need to maximize on quality, I had to my first design, it was a wooden cabin. So I had partitioned those wooden cabins in different sections, and if they were even smaller. So with the wooden cabins, you cannot also pile them. And another challenge with the wooden cabins, you have a challenge of pests, because especially the lice, that they become a little bit of a challenge when you are using the wooden. So when I was increasing my breeds, because I didn't have any extra space to put them, then I thought of, why can't I utilize the height. So before I got another place recently, I was thinking to even go up higher, but unfortunately I got another space, but it's even smaller than what I'm looking forward for. So this kind of idea is mainly I'm mainly targeting to say, okay, with the little space that you have, like the total space that I have, about 20 square meters. That is the total space that I have, that I'm using for this project. So I'm using 20 square meters, so double, that is 40 square meters. So I thought that, no, you can do like a vertical farming going up there. For those who want to start this business, there are mainly two ways that you can start. The egg, to start with the eggs, I wouldn't advise someone to start with the eggs, but they're too risky. The hatching percentage, something like that, management of, you don't know how the eggs were kept all along. And then when you are starting with chicks, suppose you don't have enough capital to start. Starting with the chicks is the best option. So for chicks, you get them between $5 to $10 per day old chick. Then keeping them to point of laying, your cost of production is between $5 to $7. So basically, we are talking of between $10 to $15 to keep a bird to start laying. And then when you're buying them as mature birds, that means you are spending between $80 to $150, depending also on the breed that you're getting. So you don't need much keeping them like the broilers. These are just road runners. You can keep them like road runners. You can even free range them outside with supplementary feeding. They also do very well. And in terms of medication, they don't require much medication, but you definitely need to vaccinate against some of the diseases, like we're talking of Newcastle, like we're talking of fowlpox, like we're talking of infectious coryza. Those are some of the vaccines that you don't have to skip when you're keeping your chickens. And then in terms of when you start this business, we are saying when you keep them from day old to mature, your cost of production is $5, and then when you're selling them, the minimum cost of these chickens, you can sell them between $30, but even going above like to $150. Now it depends on the quality again of your chicken that you're producing. Are you able to do better selection? Are you able to do better management? If they grow to the better size of the required standard? Well, these breeds, they have a breeding standard that you need to follow to understand their size, to understand their shape, to understand their height, their frame, and the stuff. And then in terms of management, like I said, you don't require much management. We are brooding for the first 4 weeks when you are in winter, then 2 weeks when you are in summer. It's good brooding. Then they can even start to move around as road runners, because they are definitely road runners. So my best sell on these breeds, I sold the Ayam Semani. It's one of the most expensive chickens in the world. I sold it for $450 per bird. That was the best sale that I did. And then besides that, in breeds like the Brahmas and the Orpingtons, I did sell some for $200 per bird. So that was one of my best. Or someone would come just like, I need this chicken. Then you won't be selling. Then you say, no, I'll give you $100. No, I won't sell it. Then someone can you'll be given an offer that you cannot resist. I remember some time ago when I was using the wooden material in terms of my cages, I was attacked by some lice. In terms of these chickens, there are some black lice that you get on the comb. Those ones are easy to notice because you can just see them. So unfortunately, I had some that do harbor on the vent of the chickens. So those ones I couldn't notice them. I actually had to notice low in terms of egg production. My chickens were becoming weak. Then when I had to check, I had lost about 2 of my roosters. The unfortunate part, it was attacking more on the roosters. Because the roosters have more feathers than the hens, so they were attacking more roosters. And I had to source for more. That means all the eggs that I was getting, they were infertile eggs because I didn't have roosters. So I gotta have a challenge. So when you definitely have to look for your chickens, take them one by one, look for pests and diseases, weigh them, see if they're gaining weight, are they not losing weight, what's causing any challenges that you're getting. When I started, it wasn't an easy journey and I couldn't get any funding, but the first thing that I put in my mind was I definitely have to start. So with those who are finding like having challenges with funding, I would say you have to start 1 or 2 or 3 breeds, 5 chicks, 4 chicks, you definitely have to start. The business, it grows on its own. You also have the ability to understand the downside of the business, the challenges, and you adapt easily. Like for example, yes, as much as we need funding, like at this stage that I am now, I'm able to grow. And if I'm to get funding, I would say I would know where to put the funds and how to utilize the funds. But if I had the opportunity to get the funds, like when I was starting, trust me, maybe I could have misused the funds because I wouldn't know the idea of the business. I wouldn't know where the business is taking me. So I would suggest that if you need funding, it's actually better for you to start the business, get them into the market. If the market is willing to buy, then you can look for funding.